What we're looking at here is some additional waterproof flashing around an electrical meter. Also looks like you have the telephone and the cable boxes next to that on the right side of the electrical meter, along with two vents, and those vents look like they're for the water heater. You do need an upper and lower vent for a water heater if it's in the garage. However, we've got the missing paper on the top, missing flashing paper, and of course this is the most important part. And the main reason why I'm making this video is to point out a couple of problems with the flashing paper. I can't tell you how many times I've run across a job like this where the flashing paper is missing for whatever reason. Let's just say the inspector come and passed everything, and then some kid drives by on his bike and rips the top paper off, or it blows away in the wind. Strong wind comes up and tears it right off, and it's gone. And like I said, this is a common event in the construction business. And then once it's missing, the lather comes out and laths right over it because they either don't have it with them, or realistically it's not their job. They're not going to replace something like that. Somebody else should have done it. Anyway, this is something that is a problem in the construction business, and I just thought I would make you guys aware of that. Next up on the list is the missing paper on the side of the cable and telephone box. And again, that might not be missing, might just be folded over, and I can't see it in the picture. However, these are things we need to make notes of as builders. Okay, now here is a common problem. The paper, let's just say, looks like they're using about 9-inch wide paper here, flashing paper. And again, could even be 6-inch paper, but let's just say it's 9 inches. Someone comes along, they staple the paper on to the framing stud there, the wall stud, and put the vent on, and that's all fine and dandy. But look at it. It really isn't going to do a lot of good if the lather doesn't put some wire behind this paper. The moment the lather puts some wire behind the paper and pulls it to the front, then yeah, we're back in business. But again, I can't tell you how many times I see a lather come up, and this is exactly what it looks like. They nail their wire on to over the stud and not under the flashing paper, and that's what you get. And again, this flashing paper would be a waste. Would be a waste. Would be ridiculous to put it on without making sure that the next part of the construction process is done correctly. And this is exactly what I'm talking about here. We need the wire behind the flashing paper. And as you can see here, I pulled the flashing paper up, and I actually had enough room because there was 2 2x4s, and this actually looks like there might be 3, but I know for sure there's 2. And you got enough room to nail, put your lathing nails on, wrap the wire around, and then the paper will go back down, and it'll be held out. However, if we go back and we look at the vents, then it wouldn't take a rocket scientist to realize we wouldn't be able to do it the same way. Now again, this isn't a problem. This wouldn't be a problem for an experienced lather who could actually run their wire underneath the bottom flashing and over the top flashing. And of course, they could always run it at an angle if they were worried about it. However, I use the word experienced lather. I can't tell you how many years, and again, I started in 1978, and even then there were plenty of people who realistically didn't have enough experience in the construction business, yet continued on. So if you're a homeowner, builder, someone who's interested in building a quality product, then you should be familiar with stuff like this and understand the reasons why these things are assembled like they are. So again, hope these videos help, and hit me with a couple of thumbs ups every once in a while if you guys like them, and any comments. If they're positive, leave them. If they're not, what the heck, leave them anyway.